consistency,
dynamism,
sensitivity,
empathy, excellence.
These words aren't enough to describe him.
there's much, much more.
this is just the beginning.
Seldom do you come across a person who becomes your North Star, who becomes your inspiration. I've been fortunate to have such a mentor in my life, who cannot be described in words or expressions, who not only changed the lives of people who he met, but also of millions who he never met. Yes, we are talking about none other than our beloved leader, Ritesh Kumar. A man who built this organization brick by brick and contributed not only to this company, but to the entire insurance landscape of the country.
Namaste, Ritesh.
Ritesh joined HDFC at the age of 38. At that point of time, he was one of the youngest leaders in the banking and financial services space in India.
If you see HDFC ERGO's history, this company, where it was in 2008 and where today we are standing from 200 odd crores to 19,000 crores. It's a huge transformation he has brought to this company.
And you've always been, for me, one of the greatest insurance executives, one of the greatest leaders that I really had the honor and pleasure working with.
Ever since, I'm a big fan of Mr. Ritesh. His control on numbers, vision for the company, and the passion he brings to work is awe-inspiring.
What I found is a person of details who has been asking very basic questions of business, and that impressed me.
Being a chartered accountant, I do like numbers, but yes, the way he looks at numbers, I think it's really, amazing.
Ritesh, when he joined us 15 years ago, he became an intrinsic part of our group and of HDFC ERGO. Honestly, it's very difficult to imagine an HDFC ERGO without him. I think it was a great asset that we in HDFC had.
I was professionally impressed by your broad expertise, strong business acumen, and excellent knowledge of the Indian insurance market.
Within the ERGO International community, you have always been a highly valued colleague, contributing to the overarching development of ERGO International and the entire ERGO group.
Ritesh is a person of details. The focus is on how, along with when and what.
I'm completely enamored by his leadership virtues. I have such a high degree of reverence for Ritesh sir.
We went through 2 mergers during that period. So to integrate the 2 shareholders seamlessly, make everyone feel very comfortable with each other, I think that has, to my mind, has been a great achievement of Ritesh.
What makes our Ritesh the Ritesh? It's his capability to look beyond insurance. It's his long-term vision. He didn't have to teach himself through book how to balance EQ and IQ. He's born with it. It's God gifted to him. And that's why it comes naturally to him. He goes out of the duty to take care of people.
For him, success is important, but also everyone contributing and being a part of that success is important.
When I think about Ritesh sir, I think the only word that comes to my mind is respect.
He commands a lot of respect. Tremendous respect from employees, respect from shareholders, and respect from regulators. And I think that's a wonderful thing for a CEO to have.
In all difficult circumstances, he leads by example, and that gives a very different energy to all of us to go out and perform.
This gentleman likes to promote meritocracy in the organization.
Ritesh has this one peculiar habit, when he enters office, first thing he wants to do is his rounds. He loves to connect with the people around.
We are so used to seeing Ritesh 9 a.m. in the morning with his coffee, talking about everything.
Over a period of first few months, I realized that, okay, when it's 9:10, 9:15, I should expect that he's making his round towards our side of the floor and just ask, okay, what is it that you're working on? How are things going? And then he will try to contribute from his point of view. Everyone he meets, He genuinely cares about them, and he genuinely tries to make a connection with that person.
Till date, I don't know that, whether he's a boss or a friend.
All of us who've interacted with Ritesh will have our own story to share. He's not only an inspiration to employees within the company, but is also a torchbearer for the entire industry. And the perfect example that comes to my mind is Insurance Quiz, a national calendar event which has close to 2,500 schools participating in it today. It was conceptualized by Ritesh from the scratch to popularize insurance amongst the young brains in the country. He made the business of insurance about people, and I'm not the only one who believes it.
I just asked him, sir, what should I do more, and how do I make this ecosystem a better one? And his response was that, Nishta, there is a time that we have to start giving back to society. I think I would have had so many calls from Ritesh sir's office, all following up for only one thing. Have the arrangements been made friendly for the Project Purple person?
So one of the mandate that he had given to me was to improve the gender balance for HDFC ERGO. The entire focus was to make sure that we get more and more women colleagues to join us.
He was always very vocal about wanting to increase diversity and inclusion. Through HR, we have changed a few policies and made it in a way that it is more friendly towards inclusion and diversity. And clearly we are, I can say that we are one of the leaders within our sector. Something that he saw and he believed that it should be done, and he was successful in kind of implementing at HDFC ERGO.
So when I joined, within a few months was the SEED Awards. He'd asked for a list of SEED Award winners. He calls up all the employees who are SEED Award winners personally. He not only calls up people who are SEED Award winners, but the ones who are based in Bombay, he actually meets them in person. How often does one come across a managing director and CEO who actually meets or calls them up and tells them? That's how generous Ritesh is.
Who could really have a CEO who would literally reach out to every single person who's a SEED awardee?
He goes out of the duty to take care of his people. A recent example was COVID. Times were tough. We were not worried. We knew we have Ritesh with us as our family leader who will take care of us.
The time of COVID, when you were there actually for me emotionally when I lost my father during COVID.
At that point of time, everyone was focusing on just themselves. But here was a leader who was wanting to make sure that our employees and their family members are safe.
It was open to employees and employees' family. I mean, which organization really does things to this scale and manages the entire thing so beautifully?
That time, because of the entire health insurance claims were under pressure, and I could see that with what kind of an empathy he was dealing with the customers. And he always said, keep customer first, and please go out and try to help the customers who are not getting hospital beds, not getting medicines, not getting their treatment financed. As a leader, Ritesh has been espousing and inspiring us to follow that, and he was himself following it to the T.
I saw during COVID-19 that he showed a lot of resilience, and I saw a lot of the humane side in his leadership at that point of time. He's a great leader.
One more quality which I admire him from the leader's perspective is respect for others. Respect for even the junior most employee. And I remember an incident wherein one of the junior guy who was working in an IT department, he was building an application for us, and due to sudden illness, he expired. The application which he was building in was named after him. That shows the respect he has for all of us.
If I was to recount an incident, so to say, which for me was a real personal low, and this happened in 2011. I lost my father on the holiday. Ritesh reached out to me at that particular point in time, and he gave me the utmost amount of hearing, tell me that he was there.
No wonder he calls it the HDFC ERGO family, because that's when I realized that the true family spirit is driven from the person at the top, and head of the family is Ritesh sir.
There has to be someone behind making HDFC ERGO India's most admired company. That man is Ritesh Kumar. The employee family grew from 248 in 2008 to 11,000 plus in 2023. Ritesh didn't see insurance as a product. He saw it as a promise. One of the most important learnings I've got from Ritesh is everything in business can be copied. Service cannot be. He created the term VOC, Voice of Customer at HDFC ERGO, to remind us all how our customers are our priority. Not only did we learn these valuable lessons from him, we also grew under him as leaders, as professionals, and most importantly, as good human beings.
So Ritesh has become an intrinsic part of our group. He was the first CEO we hired laterally. He just turned out to be fabulous.
Very early on, all of us realized how meticulous and thorough Ritesh is. His control over numbers was impeccable.
He's extremely hands-on. You ask him almost any question at any point of time, and either he has the answer there straight away, or he'll come back very, very quickly with an answer.
How and where will I find a relationship like this? And that too for so many years, tried and tested.
And he's nurtured so many leaders under his wing. The way he has garnered people, the way he has got people together, the way he has built a leadership team. And today the leadership team is so strong that many of the senior leaders in HDFC ERGO are probably fit enough to take over the role of the CEO of a smaller company.
I came from L&T Insurance along with 800 of my colleagues. Each and every one had been given a role, a function where they excel, and there was no bias. He never differentiated us.
This organization has grown only because of the leadership of Ritesh sir. I found myself to be at a better position only because of Ritesh sir.
Every session we would have with him, any review we would have with him, he will always lay emphasis on providing good services, and we will be very clear, transparent to our customers. So he would always emphasize on those kind of things, and that is the culture he has created in the company.
You have been instrumental in transforming HDFC ERGO from a small company to one of India's leading private sector insurance companies.
Well, the leadership quality that I admire the most is his vision, having a clear direction and purpose.
See, the way his ability to put people at ease, despite him being who he is a great quality.
Today, HDFC ERGO is among the top 3 private general insurer in India, which demonstrates the outstanding development of HDFC ERGO since 2008, when you took over the CEO position.
In a world obsessed with appearances, he's always remained real, humble, and humane. A leader who spoke in numbers, but also saw the human stories behind those statistics. And his success spoke for itself. It wouldn't have been possible without the unwavering support of Ritesh's family.
In our family, it's a running joke that he's always outnumbered by 3 women. But on a serious note, he's an excellent, loving, caring father for my 2 daughters, and an adorable husband and a really caring husband.
Yeah, I think the last 16 years have been quite a journey for him, and we've seen that up close, everything he's put into his work. I think integrity and never having a shortcut to success are 2 things that he's lived by, and hopefully we've learned from him as well.
Ritesh is so fond of his family. I mean, he so fondly talks about them. I have teenage daughters, and so is Ritesh having teenage daughters, and we actually speak about the girls, bringing them up, how it is, with the girls growing in the house.
I mean, he may be Mr. Kumar at work, but for me, I'm like his little girl. He's just been this really caring father, and be it he could be wherever in the world, I could be wherever in the world, but he would not fail to call me at night just to make sure I'm in bed, or if I'm out late at night, he'll always make sure I put in a message and he will not sleep.
He's very attached to his family. He makes sure that when he's on family time, he's away from distractions as much as possible.
I'm really fortunate to have worked under him the longest, to have been groomed by him right from the early stages of my career. At times I used to wonder how he manages those difficult situations with simplicity, how he balances empirical and emotional. We are the only company in general insurance to have done 2 mergers. And he made those integration look so smooth, so easy, that it's unbelievable. And trust me, mergers are never easy. He made simplicity his power suit. He trusted freely, and measured success beyond profit margins.
In financial year 2024, our market share had grown from 0.8% to 6.4%. That is an 8-time increase in that period of time. Now, 8-time increase in market share is a huge increase. And I would say Ritesh contributed in a significant manner towards the image that HDFC ERGO built up over the years.
Concept which he introduced was the concept of embedded profit. He brought this concept out, so well that even Mr. Deepak Parekh appreciated, and in fact he mentioned it number of times during our board meetings as Ritesh accounting. This concept is in some form, modified form, is coming in IFRS as contractual service margin and will be recognized in books.
It's not about numbers only that he has created a company from 200 crores to 19,000 crores. It's also about a company which is ethical in the market, known as ethical company in the market. Carry this legacy forward itself will be a challenge, but it's a tremendous legacy as well.
My typical sales call with any customer would go for like about half an hour to, make them understand the Optima Secure product. With Ritesh sir's customers, sir, do you want to know about the coverages? Oh, no. Ritesh has explained the entire product in full detail.
Besides being a great CEO, I think what Ritesh really brought to HDFC and the group was the fact that he became a well-known person that IRDA and all regulators were looking up to him. A person that they would actually pick his brains on.
A brother standing by in the darkest of times, fighting battles together for the industry.
Successfully steered our HDFC ERGO as its CEO and Managing Director over the past 16 years.
The fact that there is one individual who's been in the organization and grown it from a company to an institution which today rests on values, which rests today, thrives on virtues.
Very rarely you come across a leader whose leadership style is so different. The simplicity that he brings to the most complex situations is something that we all have learned from. So when it's time to bid farewell to our beloved leader, what else can I say? Except that you will always remain in our hearts and you will always be a part of HDFC ERGO's history.
अभी न जाओ छोड़कर के दिल अभी बरा नहीं.
I hope this goodbye is going to be just a momentary, and there are going to be many more events where we're going to be our roads are going to be crossing each other, and I look forward to a new beginning with you again. Also, I wanted to actually wish you all the very best in your new chapter in your career.
Thank you so much for all the inspiration and all the motivation throughout these years.
So generally when we are together, he uses this word, Thamba Peter. And now I say this, Thamba Ritesh sir.
जिंदगी एक सफ़र है सुहाना जहाँ कल क्या हो किसने जाना. So life is a beautiful journey and we should just flow with it, and I think it will take us through the right path.
We're all very proud of him and looking forward to where the journey takes him next.
Reena and Ritesh, I wish you all the best in the new assignment. Ritesh, I'm so confident you're going to ace this one also. Best of luck and enjoy Europe.
We'll miss you so very much. चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना. चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना. रोते हंसते बस यूं ही तुम गुनगुनाते रहना. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for one and only, our own Ritesh Kumar.